Hello, welcome back to my channel, Live Your Life, where I'm just sharing stories and being myself. And yeah, so in today's video I wanted to share, finally, like almost a year later, what the heck happened last September when Imagine Music Festival got canceled. So yeah, I had, oh my god, my hair. Let me fix it. I'm fighting with my hair for a while, but I'm on this new hair journey where I'm growing it out and it's at that weird stage and I have to wear hair clips right now, but it works. Okay. So last September, or last summer, I was planning to go to the States to meet with family because we had the whole pandemic, family couldn't see each other. Oh, hang on, I'm getting a phone call.
To the United, I went to look at my points cards.
Yeah.
I think you used all my United miles.
No,
right?
I did not. They expire. I used some of your Delta, that's all.
Oh, my United miles just expired on them by themselves?
Yep.
Those rotten miles.
I know.
I want to make like a watermelon suit jacket. It'd be so awesome.
Out of a towel, like a terry cloth.
Yeah, terry cloth suit jacket.
That's not appropriate for a wedding.
Oh, dear.
It's a cactus cat
I
scratcher.
this phone call. It's too much.
Remember you put...
I can't take it.
Remember you put a little snowman hat and scarf on my cat scratcher that looks like a cactus?
Yeah.
And
No,
it was
I
there
can't
for like
do
over a year with an old glow stick. I finally took it off today.
With the old glow stick.
It had everything on it and I finally took it off. Alright, well, I'm gonna get back to my video.
What are you doing? You making a video?
Yeah. Okay, now where was I? Yes, so a year ago I was planning to go to the States to meet up with a family because we hadn't seen each other throughout the whole pandemic. So the whole idea was, let's meet up in the States, have some family time. And I thought, oh, I'm gonna be in the States. I could take advantage of domestic flights to go to a festival. Let's see what festivals are going on. So I browsed the internet and I came across Imagine Music Festival and I thought, that looks really interesting. And I started researching about it. Everybody said it's so much fun, you gotta go. So I bought my ticket and I started doing some research and I was planning to go and I booked my flight from the US, from Providence to Atlanta, and I found a couch surfer to stay with and go to the festival with via the keyword search. That is the best way to find people on couch surfing. Use the keyword search. I did keyword search for Imagine Music Festival and there was only one person that popped up and that's who ended up being my host. So I flew down all the way from, well, I came all the way from Canada really, and I flew down to Atlanta. Stayed with this couch surfer who ended up being a wonderful person, one of my favorite people. I actually went back to visit him in March because he became such a great friend, and I look forward to seeing him again. But yeah, so all excited. I had prepared my rave suitcases for a while, and my rave suitcase, one suitcase. It was the first time I would be raving since the pandemic started, so I was pumped, right? Went all the way to Atlanta, was super excited, everybody's hyped up, was doing my shopping at Target for the camping, getting my supplies and stuff. Was checking my phone while I was getting supplies, and I saw everybody was talking about it being canceled, and I was like, what the fuck, is this for real? It turns out that they canceled the festival the day before. And a lot of people, myself included, had traveled far and wide to come to this event and they canceled it the day before. So I was in shock. But at the same time, I know everything happens for a reason. The weather looked like it was going to be really crappy. So I think we all avoided a bad situation there. A lot of people were disappointed. I was in shock, but like I knew that something good was gonna come out of it. So I put back a lot of the things I was about to buy at Target, and I went back to the apartment of the couch surfer I was staying at, and I was like, dude, guess what? The festival is canceled. And he didn't believe it either. And I was like, well, at least I'm in good company. I'm grateful if I get to stay with you. I feel like I've made a great friend, which is true. I made a good friend. So yeah, but I just didn't feel like going sightseeing in Atlanta. Like, I came to rave and party and go to music festival. I didn't want to go to museum, and I only had rave clothes. So I was like, this is not going to work. But luckily, one friend reached out to me on Instagram, my friend Haiti, and she said, Lydia, oh my God, I heard about Imagine. I feel so bad. Is there any chance you can make it out to the West Coast? You can come with us we're going to Nocturnal Wonderland, and we have a ticket for you, a ride, food, booze, camping gear. Do you think you can make it out? And I was like, oh my God, that is so kind. But in my mind, I was thinking that's going to be way too expensive to do that for the next day, because I think we were talking on Wednesday or Thursday. I think it was Thursday I was talking with her. I was like, that's kind of a lot to figure out. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to totally rule that out. Let me see how much it would actually cost to fly out to California. So I looked it up, and it actually was not that expensive to go out the next day and fly all the way to San Bernardino, California. It was like $100. Same next day flight with Frontier Airlines. So I was like, okay, that looks feasible. The only thing is, I would either have to convince my parents to stay an extra day in the States, because they were still with my family in New England, and they were going to go back a day earlier than me. No, I don't remember now, but I guess if I were going to do this, I would, hang on a second. I'm doing always these really complicated trips, and that's why I'm taking a break at home right now, because like, I need to take a break. Like, I've done some really complex trips. They always get more and more complicated. But I convinced my parents to stay one extra day in the States, which would allow me to fly from California to Maine, get in a car with them to be able to drive over the border to Canada together, which is a lot better for me, because if I fly back to Halifax, Nova Scotia, not only is the price a lot higher for international flight, but because I did not depart from that airport, I don't have my car there, and there's absolutely no public transportation to where I live. So as soon as I get to Halifax, I don't have any way of getting home. And that was something I was willing to deal with at the time. But then I'm like, you know what? I just need to be able to get home regular style and like not have to worry about it. And that's also why I ended up selling my ticket for Imagine this year, because when I bought the ticket, I forgot about that detail that like once I go back to the airport, once I get back to Halifax, I don't have a way of getting home, because this September is the same scenario. I'm going down with my parents with the car to the States, and I thought of branching off, doing my own thing, going to a festival and flying back, but then I'd be without my car and I don't have a way to get home. Like, I could pay a shuttle, then I have to rely on their schedule. I had a friend offer to drive me, but it's 3.5 hours and gas is expensive. And I just don't feel comfortable. I like to be independent. Anyway, I digressed. But it's all related. It's all valid and important. So, yes, I convinced my parents to stay an extra day. I spent the whole day figuring this out in Atlanta. The whole day booking things, booking flights, had to reschedule the doggy daycare, reschedule the ferry, reschedule all of our COVID tests, because we had to get them within a 72-hour time frame in order to go over the border to Canada. So we canceled the old tests, rebooked new ones. I offered to do this for my parents because they were like, I can't do it, it's too much. And I was like, please just like stay one more day. That's all I need. And I convinced them, thank goodness. So yeah, I was making phone calls, rebooking stuff, doing everything. I spent all day. The next morning, I flew out to California, and I had one of the best weekends of my life at Nocturnal Wonderland.
Yeah!
amazing and so meant to be, you know, like I was supposed to be there. And my friend who invited me, she said that and she felt that. She was like, you were supposed to be here. And, you know, Imagine Music Festival got canceled, but it was an epic and unforgettable and surprising and spontaneous adventure for me because I flew to Atlanta, ended up meeting a really great friend who's still a friend, and connected with another former camp neighbor from EDC Las Vegas, actually, and now we're still friends, and we've gone to Okeechobee since then and EDC again this year, and we connected on the internet through Imagine Music Festival on Radiate, which is really cool. So haven't gone to Imagine yet. I'm not going this year, but a lot of good things have happened to me just through like engaging with the community of this festival. So it's really cool, and I know if I go, I want to have a really good time. So someday, hopefully, I'm to make it there. And I'm grateful for the wonderful connections that have happened through this festival that I haven't even gone to yet and got canceled. But the good news is the flight that I booked from Providence to Boston, I use on points. So I only paid $5. So when Imagine Music Festival got canceled, I was like, well, at least I only put $5 on that. And I ended up getting a refund for the tickets, which was good. They refunded most of it, not all of it, but whatever. It was good enough, I suppose. And yeah, things happen for a reason. When things don't work out, it's because there's always something better ahead. Always remember that. In the moment, it's hard to remember this, but it's so true. Oh my God. So yeah, when something like that happens, get surprised, it seems like it sucks, it's because there's something better out there that's going to happen. So that was my story for what happened. Imagine 2021 ended up at Nocturnal Wonderland. It was the best time ever. What a great 2-day festival. Highly recommend it. That's the first Insomniac event ever. And there's camping, and it's in an indigenous territory, in indigenous land, so there's really good energy there. It's really interesting, and I absolutely loved it. Great vibes festival. Didn't meet any bad people there. It was awesome. So many wonderful connections, and I felt like I could connect with almost everybody that I interacted with there. It was an out of this world experience, and I had a very, very memorable and significant acid trip while I was there, that I filmed a lot of this on camera as well, and I'm waiting to post the footage. That's other footage that I need to post on my YouTube channel. Just getting the courage to do it. You know, when I was there in the moment, I was completely doubt-free, you know, very much sure of everything I was saying, and then looking back on it almost a year later, I'm like, oh my God, I said those things. I'm like, maybe people thought I was annoying or whatever, but deep down I know that I'm not supposed to feel that way, so I gotta just stick with my gut, and you know what, put it out there. If people don't like it, they don't have to watch it, right? And one of the big things that I learned at that weekend at Nocturnal Wonderland is that, you know what, we're all adults. If somebody doesn't feel comfortable, they can say, hey, I need to take a break, or I'm not comfortable with what you're saying. You know, this is the adult way to deal with things. So I shouldn't have to invent things that might not necessarily be true about how others perceive me. I should not doubt myself. We should never doubt ourselves. And that was one of the many lessons that I learned at Nocturnal Wonderland. Every time I go to festivals, it is a very therapeutic experience. It's a group therapy experience. It's a healing experience just to be around people who you can connect with and who understand, and everybody's going through different issues. I feel like I bring spirituality to the rave scene because I do a lot of inner work on my free time, and so that when I experiment with substances, I'm much more, well, I really try and tune in, and I really like to explore where my mind's going, and I don't like to overdo it. I don't like to take things to get fucked up per se. I always like to be in control, and I just find it very stimulating and therapeutic, and I like to share what's going on with my own journey because I know I have a very positive energy, and I'm pretty light. I don't have a lot of baggage. I'm really physical baggage. Yeah, I have it, but like emotional, spiritual baggage, I'm very grateful to say that I'm quite light, which is interesting. I've never thought about it like that because, oh my God, I have so many material things that weigh me down, but like otherwise I'm quite a light person. And like I met with a medium in Brazil in December, which I'm going to make another video on. And she was like, oh my God, you're such a light spirit. It's so nice to work with you. So interesting. Making these videos is very therapeutic. Talking things out is very therapeutic. I've already uncovered a new fact about myself that I didn't even know was there before. So that is so cool. More to share about on Nocturnal Wonderland. I filmed some good footage and made a ton of great friends. So much interconnectedness. I basically figured out my life. I basically figured out life that weekend. And like when I came back and talked with my psychologist that I was seeing at that time, basically we had nothing more to talk about. And like I was giving her advice. And I feel like that's what happens every time I come back from a rave. If I'm seeing a psychologist, I come back from a music festival and we suddenly have nothing more to talk about because I've suddenly figured out my life. So what does all that mean, guys? I think I know what it means, and I think a lot of you do too. So you should subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. And thank you for tuning in. And I'm already getting so excited about making these videos again. It's just, had to get into it. It was slow to start, but here I am. So we're doing this.